Kasthall's soul, in my opinion, is our wealth of choice. I have worked here for 20 years now, and on the one hand, we have our woven rugs, which are steeped in tradition, original weaving techniques, the wool yarn and the colours. And then there's the hand-tufted rugs, where we experiment with more structures, pile heights and so on. I think it's really important that there is a Scandinavian touch to what we do, but it's equally important that we bring in other cultures and fashion and glamour. But the most important thing is that we have this wealth of choice so that we can reach all kinds of customers. And since we do have all kinds of customers, it can be rugs that are placed in shops and subject to heavy wear, or carpets in airports, for example. I always have to think about using a material that is of the highest quality and is long-lasting, and also colour combinations that last, but without making it boring. Working with colour is so much fun, like finding unexpected colour combinations. That is almost the best part about this job, that I can always push the boundaries just by putting together a new colour combination. For example, it could be a colour that I really think is a bit ugly, but together with another colour, it just becomes so funky and fresh. One of the best things at Kasthall is our yarn department. I don't know how many different colours we have there, but every time we finish a job, there's a little bit of yarn left over, and it all goes on the shelves down there. And it's so fun. I often walk around the shelves looking for a certain colour, and then I find a dusty yarn cone at the back of the shelf, and it turns out it's from the 60s. I get my inspiration mainly from the world of fashion. I love looking in the fashion stores in Milan and London, and seeing what colour combinations they've used, and which materials and structures and so on. Recently there's been a lot of embroidery, for example, but I'm just as much inspired by nature. And, you know, in my job, I just can't switch off. Inspiration can come at any time and from anywhere. Like when I'm doing my gardening and suddenly I see a certain green colour together with a small pink flower, and that can give me new ideas and impulses all the time.
Hela tiden ge nya idéer och impulser. Alltså när jag började här så...
When I started at Kasthall, we mainly used wool as material. Then we brought in linen yarn and started mixing the two. But it's really difficult to find yarns of the right thickness that work with our production. So that's why it's turned out that we've invented and constructed our own machines so that we can make our own yarn, where we mixed wool and linen and sometimes an effect yarn, like the glitter lurex. Kasthall's production is very much like a handicraft. In every aspect, from how we choose the yarn to how we spool it, put it together, how we weave and the finishing. Yes, the whole thing is an incredible handicraft. Maybe not 100%, but not far from it. And people who work here are incredibly service-minded and love to experiment.